I love me.
Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming podcast. It is episode 24, and as well, another gloomy day in Southern California.
Gloomy and thundering, man.
Right,
Yep.
but today, I'm okay with it being gloomy because we only have about 3 to 5 more days for the next-gen consoles to release.
Yep.
So we got the Xbox Series X and the S is releasing on Tuesday, and then on Thursday we have the PlateStation Fizz-Eye. So, before we get into all of that good stuff, what have you guys been playing this week, Mark?
So me personally, I've been still playing World of Warcraft. Because I'm kind of in that mode where I'm just like on YouTube. I'm trying to see what games I want to get for next gen. I'm looking up all the latest news.
You're already a next gen minded
Anytime
person,
there's
huh?
a video, like I watch it, I consume it, just because it's that time of year.
Getting
guys.
excited, man.
It's that next gen. So that's what you're thinking about. You're like, I just want to play next gen.
Christmas coming early.
Christmas coming.
I know, man. That's what I keep thinking too. But it's like if we don't get one, what a bummer.
Yep.
All that excitement just fizzles.
Yeah, but I'm still playing World of Warcraft. The event is coming out next week. The pre-patch event is finally coming out.
Okay.
So we'll be able to, there'll be like a Scourge invasion, and it'll be a cool limited time event. So I normally play Horde, but I created an Alliance character just because I was running out of things to do. So it's actually like a breath of fresh air going and playing the expansions. Like BFA, I didn't play the Alliance campaign, the war campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool seeing the other side. So I'm just waiting.
I hear like one guy I watch, Force Gaming. I don't know if you know what that is. But he's been talking about how he's having a blast just leveling.
Yeah.
Because now you can choose the zone you want to level in. And they really made it a lot easier to level. Like you can level a character from like 1 to 50 in like 12 to 15 hours.
So he's just playing his favorite zone then?
So yeah, like he'll just create a whole new character and like go to a new zone and like just explore that zone. Or create a new character. He just like made like multiple characters and just levying them all to 50.
Yep. So
and like he's having a blast, he says, doing it. Like it's so much fun. And he's like, I have tons of other games I want to play right now, but I just keep wanting to go back to level more characters. And wow.
So I've been doing the same thing. It's cool because if you have a favorite expansion, if you just do that expansion, you'll get to max level. Before you went to that expansion,
Before you even finish it,
that
too.
was like 10 level
smidgen.
range, But now it's like you could level from beginning to end in just one era. So whatever era you miss or your favorite, you can just focus on that. Or you can just pick herbs. Like I created one character who I was just picking herbs and doing trade skills. And I got to max level by legit just picking herbs.
That's still
in the
insane,
zones.
man. That used to be just like a side thing. Like a
Yeah,
little
That's
thing you could
crazy.
do.
That I'm
I
blown
was just,
away on.
I was just like
that I'm blown
I was
away
just doing
on.
other things, just picking herbs, and I was getting
Killing
tons-
every now and again, right?
killing when I was attacked picking an herb.
Right.
But I was just doing trade skills, and I was getting a lot of levels that
That's
way.
crazy.
So it was crazy. The occasional dungeon here and there. But yeah, it is really fun to level. So that's why I'm doing the Alliance side.
Well, yeah, and he was saying like even when you go into a zone, like for instance, the first character he did, he did the first level 10 zone, and then he put himself in Elwyn Forest.
Mm-hmm.
And normally you go like Elwyn, Westfall, Darkshire, maybe Duskwood, and then what's the Shire place?
STV, Dragonthorn Vale.
No, before that, Red
Ridge Mountains.
Red Ridge Mountains. He was like, but I just went like Elwyn to Duskwood. Like I just went straight there. Like you can do that because the world just stays.
Everything
at your
scales
level
to
now.
you.
Everything scales to you.
Did he ever visit Jumanji? No?
That doesn't exist in WoW, but wrong game.
Wrong game. They definitely need to add Jumanji
Wrong
into
game,
that.
dude.
Dude.
But yeah,
like that's neat.
The new leveling system is really great. It's cool because you could sync your level with somebody. So let's say Godly Sovereign is level 50. He already did all the quests. But Sir Knight, you're new. He could come to Elwyn Forest, level sync with you once per day, and he can redo every quest that he's ever done. And he could do it again and still get rewards.
Get the
So
gold
like
and stuff.
reduce my level just to be able to play with him?
You'll stay your level, but you'll sync your quest log with Sir Knight.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you already did the quests, but you want to do them again, you can.
Well, and it will dumb down his power too, so you're not just one shot and everything.
Just OP and everything?
Yeah, because
where's
that's
the
not
fun
really
in that?
questing together.
So,
You're just running.
it's-
through it.
Wait, let me handle this.
It's a pretty cool idea because you get to, that time someone wants to run a dungeon, but you're like, I already did all those quests. you could do them again. And if you're not max level, you can get
what
rewarded.
This guy used to always tell me. I'd be like, "Hey man, run a level with me, man. I already did those. Like I don't want to do those all again."
But
I would say that. If he's
not,
they fixed that.
But
right?
if he's not max level, when he syncs to you, he can still get EXP. He can get the quest rewards all over again. So let's say he picked a dagger and he wants like the sword now. You can get it.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool idea.
So you can get some more loot.
You can do the quests again and get the items again.
That's
what's that Wind Fury axe versus that Wind Fury sword, right?
So what?
Could you now? Quest. Can you just do it like by yourself? In general,
you have to
or
be
you
in
have
a
to
group.
have somebody else.
You have to be in a group, and you could only do it once per day. So you can't just keep redoing the requests like every.
Like if there was 3 weapon options and you got one and you wanted to try the other 2, you would have to wait. You could get the second one, but you would have to wait the next day to get the third one, and you'd have to find a new person to do it with.
Correct.
Okay. Correct. All right. It's a little game, but it's cool.
And you? What about you, Sir Knight? What you been playing?
All right, man. You're gonna be a little shocked to hear this because I was dogging it a bit, but I've been playing Watch Dogs Legion.
Really?
Say it ain't so.
I told you.
Say it ain't so. You sound so underenthused.
Yeah, I
about
was
that
super
game.
underenthused about it. Very, very underwhelmed by it.
So when did you go and get it?
The reason why I went and got it was because, for the most part, like I was just like looking for something to play again. You know, like looking for something new to play again. Like I had been replaying games. Like I was playing Persona 5 Royal again. Mm-hmm. You know, I kind of redoing games, playing some indies here and there, and there just like wasn't anything like, you know, scratching any itches that I was really looking forward to playing.
Okay.
And I was like, man, I need something new, especially with all this next gen stuff going on. So Legion came out, and so GameStop has like a deal with like the Game Coin thing. Have you heard of that?
Nah.
Certain games, certain games they have promotions on. It's their way of competing with like Amazon, because Amazon always sells their games for like $10 less.
Do they?
Yeah. They always sell their game for like $50.
Okay.
If you pre-order them, there's always like $10 left
if
you pre-order them. So GameStop's response to that is like their game coin. It's not like it's like a Bitcoin, right? It's not like real money, but you
gotta
can
invest
spend
$1,000. You get $10 off your games.
Yeah, but like certain brand new games, will have promotions for game coin, and that'll be like $10 of game coin, and then you can get that game coin, and then once that game coin gets credited to your account, you have like a couple weeks to spend it. And so I was like, okay. And this one they were showing $20 game coin, $20 in game coin.
That's competitive.
For Watch Dogs Legions.
To pre-order it? Or to just buy
it that day. If you bought it like on November, whatever it was.
Damn, so it's probably gone now, huh?
I think it's gone now.
Okay,
I think you could still get 10
nice,
for it. But they were doing a $20 promotion. I was like, dang.
You gotta shoot the slap in the text, man. If you get I
didn't know if any of you guys were even on that game or not. But I was like, okay, $20. You know, I had a few other games to trade in. They were doing an extra. They were doing like 30% store credit extra for games towards Watch Dogs Legions as well. Okay. So I grabbed a few games.
What'd you trade in?
I traded in Rainbow Six Siege.
I didn't even think you had
World War II. And a Metro. One of the Metro games I had.
Okay.
One of the Metro games. I got, I can't even remember, 20-something bucks. Mm-hmm. $30, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And then I'm part of a pro membership, so I get the $5 off every month too. That was also expiring that very day. Like I had like one more day to spend.
So it's a do or die.
So I was like, I either buy a game right now with it, or I let that $5 lapse. They had the $20 game coin. I had some games to turn in, so I was like, you know what, Watch Dogs Leader is looking like it's lining up. And if I don't like it, I'll just take the $20 they gave me for it and the $30+ bucks they'll give me on store credit if I ever trade it back in towards like towards Valhalla, right? And it doesn't really cost me anything. So that was my reasoning, and I went and grabbed it, and it's been cool. It's been a cool game. Like it's not like jaw dropping, but it's been a very cool game. Like I do like the city is very detailed. They took up their time building that city. Of course, they're all buildings you can't go into, but I do like it. Like there is one cool thing that I've liked a lot about it. And that was the construction worker. No, not the hacking. Okay. That's the same old. The hacking and everything is identical to past Watchdog games.
Okay.
But the construction worker is the dopest thing that has made me really enjoy the game the most.
Explain.
Like honestly, and I'll explain why. The reason why the construction worker is so cool is because he can call at any moment in time his own personal drone that actually can carry him.
Oh, okay. So that big thing
drone
is part
that
of
can
him.
carry him. It's part of him and him alone.
Okay.
Like he's unique to having that power.
That sounds cool.
Like you can get other, teammates that have other kind of powers, but his has been the one that's game changing for me the most.
Why? For traveling?
And I'll explain why. Because in the game, a lot of like the talent points you collect in the world. Like you earn some for doing missions, but the way to really get them is by collecting them in the world. And when you unlock the map of a certain region, they show you all the talent point locations.
Okay.
And so you could just go and knock them out, and they're like all over the place. Like it's more valuable to just like do the map rather than even doing the missions if you're trying to juice your guys up. And what he is so cool, man, is I just called that drone, and literally no matter where those talent points are at, like I could just go up, down, left, right, any location. I just
so
go
just
and
like
I
floating
snag
in
them.
the sky or what?
No, they might be like on top of a building, right? Or they might be like on a ledge, or they might be in an area that is on the floor, but I have to like sneak in there where the drone doesn't help me there. But I could like fly above the zone, and like I can throw my spider drone down there, hijack that and walk around the spider drone and collect whatever I want.
So you can have 2 drones for that one construction worker?
The way the construction worker is cool is because I hijack the flying drone, the worker, and I jump on that and I fly over the city. Mm-hmm. Then I can stop hacking it, but I still stand on it. Okay. So I'm just standing on it. And then I throw my spider drone out, and from up in the air, I'm controlling the spider drone down on the ground.
And the spider drone can grab your talent point, and then you just automatically pocket it?
And the spider drone can grab the talent points. Yeah.
That's okay.
And the spider drone can also do takedowns, too. Like, basically, I play almost the entire game through the spider drone, shockingly enough.
So what happens if the spider drone gets caught?
Then there's just a cooldown until I can rethrow another spider drone out. There's like a 30-second cooldown, maybe.
Damn. I feel like that's a cheese.
That seems too easy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's no skill.
It is kind of like a cheese. There are some instances in which you physically need to go and do it, but I turned on permadeath mode. That's a new option they have in this game
to make it a little bit more spicy.
Yeah, make it a little more spicy. It is a little bit more risky, Like I really gotta run away, Like if I start getting shot, I get pretty nervous.
How can you get shot at though if he's sitting there hovering? Because, like I said,
there is occasionally an instance or a time in which like I've had to physically go in on foot.
Okay.
There are those instances, but like I'm real careful with my construction worker because if I lose my construction worker, he's gone. I gotta go The only way to get new recruits is you have to do a quest line. So it's a little tedious. Okay. Like it's a little bit of a thing you don't really want to do. Like, yeah, I can just go find another construction worker and start a whole new quest line with him. You're right.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit of a pain. So I'm a little more cautious. I don't want to have to do that if I don't have to.
So you can legit just have like a whole team of construction workers.
I think you could have quite a few construction workers. Like I haven't found a secret agent yet, a John Wick. I haven't found one of those guys yet.
Okay.
I'm wondering what that would be like, going to place and just like shoot.
Maybe they got a Samantha Wick. You got to start looking everywhere, man.
Yeah, I don't know. But I basically have been focusing on like the tech guys that have that because the drone, I can hack quicker, longer distances, download longer ranges. So, like, it's been really cool. But like I said, like, the construction workers was made it dope for me. Jeez. I just flew over the whole city, man. And flying is way faster than even driving. Yeah. Like, the drone's not fast, but I'm just flying over everything.
Yeah, you just hover over all paths. Yeah.
Especially because this is Britain. This is London. Like, they made it just like London. You drive on the opposite side of the road. And that's been really hard for me to get. Like my mind wrapped around. I'm always driving on the opposite side of the road.
Do cops come after you off?
No cops don't come after me.
Oh, you just do what you want.
Like I wish it'd be cool if there was a little bit more realistic. Like if I'm driving on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah, you run a red light.
A cop just flashes. Yeah, flashes his his siren at me just to hey, I'm watching you. But yeah, it's been really cool. Like it's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing like jaw dropping. It's just been a lot of fun. It's been really cool to get back into an open world game again. Like I've really been aching for that, especially with Cyberpunk being delayed. Yeah, I really wanted to get back into another like futuristic open world game. So this is kind of scratching that itch a bit. But what I'm really looking forward to big time is Valhalla next week. So
do you have that pre-ordered?
I have that pre-ordered on Amazon.
Okay.
And another reason why I didn't mind it is because it is a free upgradable version to the PS5.
Yeah.
So you just put the PS4 disc into the PS5. So like there is no reason at all to buy the PS5 version of Valhalla or even Watch Dogs. Like buying the PS4 is the same basically as buying the PS5 version of it. So
yeah.
That's my plan, for the next couple weeks. It would change if I can get a PS5 in my hands. Like my plans would change, but that's what I've been playing. What about you, Stone?
Okay, so I decided to fall back on Destiny 2. I haven't played it in almost like 2 to 3 weeks or so. just because like Genshin Impact was taking up my time for like the last 2 weeks or whatever, and then I was busy with my son's birthday last weekend. But I decided to take a note from your book and take one of your suggestions. So I decided to hop on the Xbox and I downloaded Moonlighter.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
I started playing Moonlighter,
Nice.
playing with it and figuring it out. And from what you told me, you withheld some information from me.
Like what?
Like I felt like there was like maybe you just grazed the top of it or something like that. I don't know how deep you went into Moonlight or whatever, but
Maybe like 5 hours for a few hours.
okay, so let me ask you this then: Did you kill any of the bosses?
No,
You did not.
I always left before
Okay.
I got
All right, so
into any bosses.
So I got the hang of like selling stuff, finding out what's sells good, what sells for what they want to pay the price for,
Right.
what's a steal, so I
Right.
can not give them a
Right.
steal,
Right.
So
I always started high and came down.
yeah,
I never
yeah.
started
and
low.
sometimes
I
I would
always started
think that
high
it's
and
like a
came down.
low item. Or I would start at a price that I thought was like reasonable, and then it's like low. I'm like, oh, I can go higher,
Yeah.
like what I
Yeah.
mean. So
That happened a couple times.
yeah, so
Because I went pretty high, and like that was a steal at a high
Yeah.
price. Dang, okay.
So I started
Not
to
doing that again.
like at first I started throwing whole stacks down for them to buy. And then I realized that when I don't know a price, I should just toss one
That's
out
what I
there
was doing. I was tossing
individually
one at a time.
to slowly see
That's exactly what I
what they're
did.
going to pay for. That way I can get the max amount of money for it.
Yeah.
So I got that pretty
I always
quickly.
found out one first, and then I would just multiply it by a stack. Yeah.
Right. So the only thing that I don't like about it is that when things are in high demand, you don't know what's the actual price of it
Right.
that they'll be comfortable with paying at any given time.
Another thing I wish they did too is like at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
if there was some kind of ledger that showed you what everything sold for, and you can like
They do.
refer to it,
They
like
do.
during the day. Oh, you can look at and refer to it.
So at the end of the day, once everybody closes the
Yeah.
door, then you get that sheet that pops
Right.
up and it tells you everything that you sold.
Right.
And you
but
can
is
skip
that saved
through it.
anywhere for you to go back and refer to it?
So basically how it goes is when you go to your table to drop items off, to place the items, you can look in the book. If you hit the right trigger, you'll turn to the book page and it'll talk about the item, but you see the gold eyes, smiley face, you see the closed eyes but happy smiley face. You see the drab looking one, and then you see the angry face. And so it has the amounts if you hit it at all. Well, within those amounts on those faces. So like once you find like this like leaf or whatever sells for 6 with the happy face but the closed eyes, that's the general price of it, and then you'll just leave it at that.
I see.
But when you've sold it, when you've tried to put it out there to be sold and it's got the angry face and you tried to sell it for 1,600,
See, I didn't know about that book.
yeah, so
I was doing everything from memory, dude.
oh, okay. So yeah, so that tells you. And then what's also nice is if you've put it out there to sell, if you drop another of the same item out, the price stays what you last sold it for.
That's what I was
cool.
using for too. It remembers what the item last sold
Right,
for, or what
right.
I had last set it at.
Right, what you last put
Maybe
it at.
not what it had sold for, but what I had last set.
Yeah,
it
as
at,
long as
right?
you don't have like the
But
same
I
item
had to
on the table or
remember
something.
like which ones in my mind were selling for low or high.
Yeah, so
that
you don't even have to
annoying
do
me.
that.
I didn't know that. Okay, well that changes a lot for me. Anyways,
Yeah,
go on
and so
about the bosses. And stuff.
so like having when things are in high demand, they're given an up arrow.
Right.
And unfortunately, when things are in high demand, it does not calculate what's a reasonable price
Right.
that people will pay. So therefore
changes
you
so
don't
much,
you don't know.
fluctuates,
So you
yeah.
have to wait until it's neutral, and then when you put it out there and somebody likes it with the eyes closed or whatever smiley face, then the price is set, and then that's what you would just leave it at or whatever, unless you feel like being like a little greedy and amping the price up. But
Okay.
you can play with that as much as you want. There are thieves in the store because I've
Really?
had things stolen from me and I've had things attempted to get stolen.
I've
So
never had a thief.
I was
That's
like,
cool.
dude, he said that there was no thieves, and then
No,
I saw
said
this.
I didn't think there.
Yeah,
were.
that you didn't-
I didn't
that
say
you hadn't
there
come
were
across
not
them
no
or
thieves,
whatever.
Yeah.
So like I was in the store, and then like this dude comes in, and he like walking around, standing around or whatever, and he finally goes and goes to grab something, and then he just hightails it to the front door. Like he's moving really fast. And I'm like behind the counter. So I'm like, dude, what the heck? So I ran over to him and I'm still trying to get used to like the buttons to click. Right. I'm so used to like, you know, the PlateStation controller or whatever. Like, and my brain wasn't thinking like, oh, I got to click the left trigger to like attack him or whatever. So he ran out on me. So he got something. So then I paid attention. So the next time I saw somebody come in and, you know, sometimes they have like faces that pop up over their heads. That tell you like what they're looking for or whatever. Right. So this one had a burglar face over his head. So I was like, oh, he's shiesty.
Because he's the same guy, so you kind of you remember?
He was a different person.
Well, how would you know he was a burglar? That's crazy.
It had a burglar face.
I know. Like, I'm wondering how you would know because it has I'm assuming beanie, like thematically.
A beanie, a bandit mask, and then a mustache. Okay. So it looked like a bandit or something like that, a burglar or something. So it was walking in the store or whatever, looking around. So I just kept my eye on him. And then he saw something. It was a book. I think I had priced it at like $1,600. He grabbed it and he starts beelining it. And so it's like there's like a little smoke cloud or whatever that comes from the back of his feet because he's like, you know, he's dipping. So I run from behind the counter. And then I go over to him. And then you have to hit the left trigger, which is like you do like a barrel roll. It's like it's your dodge or whatever. That's dope. So you barrel roll into him, and then you guys are like in a scuffle, and there's like a cloud that forms up around you. And then boom, the item goes back into your bag, and then he hightails it out of the store. So that's how that interactions
go. That's really
go.
interesting.
So on top of all that, I've gone into the dungeon and I've beaten the first one, which is the Golem dungeon or whatever. We have to defeat the King Golem. And then once you open the chest at the very end, you get like rings. So there's like, I think on like the 3rd floor or something like that, right before the boss, there's actually a chest that I found that I was able to obtain another ring. And that seems to be the only way you're able to get rings is through the dungeon.
I see. You
can't get it from one of the store owners or whatever. So I got that, and then when you defeat the boss, they give you pendants. So the first pendant, I don't know if you care to know or whatever. The first pendant is a merchant pendant. So it allows you to sell anything that you come across in the dungeon for a lower price, though. It's like random.
Oh, you can just sell it now without even having to try
like if there's
fluctuate the price and find out what it's worth, right?
Right. So basically, like if you're in the dungeon and your pack is full, but you come across some stuff and you're looking and you're like, oh, I got these little like red gemstones and I don't really need those. They're so cheap. Like I'm just looking for things to sell right now. I can just pick it up, drop it into the merchant mirror, and then it'll give me like 1 gold or 10 gold or whatever. However much it wants.
Rate, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So like if I see that, this item sells normally for 1,600, I'm just gonna sell these that normally sell for 100. And then boom, you get it, and you might sell the whole stack, and you might only get 100, or you might get 250 or whatever. It's just random, but it's just a way for you to get something back for trying to make space in your bag. So I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
And then when you get further in there, you're able to get this thing, because you know how you have your little pendant that allows you to teleport back to town without being, without dying or whatever. And you get to keep all your stuff. You just have to pay, I think, 200 gold or something like that. Yeah. So they have a portal that you can open up, and the portal will allow you to return back to that same spot. Only thing is they taxing on that portal. When you get to like the end of the floor, like right before the boss or whatever, it's like 8 Gs.
I'm gonna waste the money open it up to do that because the boss is so valuable, right? Yeah.
Right. So like when you get that far and you just like, I need like health, I need all that, you know what I mean? I'm just go ahead, use the portal, pop back, you know what I mean? As long as you save yourself enough money. But once you start getting into like the second, the forest dungeon or whatever, I've faced the forest dungeon boss. I have not beat the boss yet though. But once you get to there, like the forest, there's like mad stuff that you can sell for like lots of money. So like I'm getting like 60K for like a night's worth of going and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's on their level of what I've played, man.
And then increasing the your shop and stuff like that, making it bigger so you're able to put more things out. You can start to you get like encasings that stop burglars from stealing what's in the cases. So you just put your really high priced items in there just cause, and it makes it look fancy. And whatnot, and then getting the people in your town. So like you have your armor guy first,
Right.
and then and
You
you
buy
have
all those
your
upgrades.
your potion woman, and then
Right.
there's a guy who actually scavenges things that you've dropped in the dungeon or that you lost when you died in the dungeon, and he'll have them available for you to purchase, as well as like other random things. So that's cool, but he's taxing on those, and they're nothing that you can actually get off. Like, you couldn't buy a book for 12,000 and then get that 12,000 back in the store. It's not possible.
It's never gonna equal out what you paid in, right?
Yeah, and then there's another dude who actually sells items that you can put in your store that would allow you to get more increases in money back. So like you are able to upgrade your register so that they throw you like a 20% tip on top of whatever your item sold for. But then you're able to get a planner that also gives you 20% more. And then you're also able to put a painting up that gives you like 20% more. Right. So all of a sudden now you're getting like damn near double what you asked for and whatnot. So I thought it was pretty fun. And then
good recommendation, right?
Yeah. On top of that, I like that one. And it was, it's a little 8-bitter, game, but it's fun.
It's just
fun.
What I mean? You're not
looking
like two
for
separate games in one, too,
cosmetics.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's definitely, once you start getting your shop bigger, then you start getting quests in from people that say, hey, collect this item from the dungeon or whatever. And you're like, cool, I'll run up in there and then I'll look for those items and just make sure that I'm a person. If I die, I can just keep going until I got everything. And then, and do all that. And those give you big money. So, like, I would say, like, if you decide to get back into Moonlighter again, like, level up your freaking shop so that you can get that. Because you get, like, 30K for, like, collecting something that you already were collecting and just selling it in the store off top. And then they also give you more storage for things. And then you start finding like the little secret spots that are in rooms that if you fall down into the cavern, there's items down there, or there's books down there, or there's a chest down there that you could just drop everything in your bag in there and it'll transport it back home. So you can just have a fresh new empty bag. Stuff like that. So
it's real fun. Then I mean, that's two members of the crew. That means it's We Love Gaming approved, right?
Yeah.
It's We Love Gaming approved now.
I'm long-winded on that, but I definitely say that if you have an Xbox and you've got the Game Pass or the the Game Pass Ultimate or whatever, definitely take a minute and just download it and try it out, because even though it's an 8-bitter game and it's been out for a long time, like, it's really fun.
Nice.
So
Definitely.
it was definitely like, I found myself like, oh, let me hop back into Moonlighter again, you know what I mean? And keep fun, going. Because I'm also getting that itch that you're getting, because I'm ready to play something new. And it's like, I don't want to buy something for my older systems, but at the same time, I might just, do what you were saying and get that. And
because it's upgraded to PS5, so you're not losing anything by doing that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to be really careful on what you buy right now.
Yeah, for sure. So the first one of the things that we wanted to talk about was the fact that Sony decided to gut that company. What was it? PlateStation 5 or something like that. That came out with the custom faceplates for the PlayStation 5, and they shut that down.
Yep.
I was kind of like, WTF, but
totally.
I feel like there's two reasons that it could be, right? Is maybe that faceplate ain't that easy to pop off and that you could risk breaking it in return.
I doubt it.
Or
it's meant to come off.
They want their money, but they haven't come out with anything to tell anybody about that. So, like, I mean, what do you guys think? Like, what's the reason why they would shut this down?
So I thought maybe there was a couple things. One being maybe the name. Maybe
PlateStation.
Maybe they had to issue.
They changed their name though.
Yeah. So they did change.
Wasn't enough.
So that's why I thought maybe the name was part of the issue, and then them selling things for the PlayStation. Maybe that was just enough to, like, I don't know legal terms, but maybe
there's like Mad Cats and everything else.
But
has been making
but it always has some
That's
sort of
true though.
But it always has a little seal, officially licensed. Like if you
gotta
buy
get permission.
Like a Nintendo Switch, a third-party controller that's like, has a Pokemon skin. It always says officially licensed by whatever
Nintendo.
So maybe there has to be some sort of
maybe
consent.
they want their money, their licensing fee. They want that for the face.
Clearly,
maybe there's some process to make accessories that they have to follow. Otherwise, we're gonna have to just go on eBay and buy things, from around the world. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was to do with legal things more so than actually making the faceplate, because we could always buy accessories for every other thing in the world, cases. Like I didn't think that actually selling the faceplate was the issue. I just think how they went about it with the name. They probably didn't get consent. So I
thought
think
the name was awesome too.
The name was sick.
Perfect
Play on
for
words,
it,
man.
yeah.
The name
was sick, but I think it was just a combination of those things.
Yeah.
It brought some red flags through Sony, and Sony just axing it. They're like, nope, you messed up. We're not even gonna give you guys
There's
a try.
few things here, man, to think about. I think, okay, I can't wrap my mind around Sony not realizing this cash cow, right?
They had to have thought of that. When
It's
they were designing it.
it's either like they honestly didn't think about it, and then when they saw all this hype around it, like,
no,
wait
this
a
needs to be
minute,
ours.
actually, maybe we need to take control of this, right? Or they knew that this was something they wanted to do from the start. Like, those are the only two real explanations I can come up with as to why this is happening. And I also thought, too, there is a difference, Sony cannot stop someone from buying, right, something to put onto it or click onto the outside. But this is, I guess, technically, physically part of the console, I guess. And so because of that, right, that's like...
It is. It's sold on the console, so technically it's a part of the console.
It's weird because it's completely detachable. I feel like the centerpiece is like more so the console, and these plates are like just on there. But I guess you can make the argument, maybe Sony can make the argument that it's technically part of the system, and therefore, like, you can't, add your own plates on. I have no idea. I almost felt like the company should fight it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's got to be close, whether they can do something like that. Like with phone cases, like, I guess this phone case isn't technically part of my phone. It's just not being wrapped on it. Mm-hmm. So therefore, Samsung has no say in this. But it's close, dude. It's close. Like, what if I was able to take, like
the back
plate off and swap it with something else? Would Samsung be able to come in and say, no, I can't do that?
But that's just like that's like anything. Like, let's say a car part. People do have, a bunch of aftermarket parts.
Yeah.
And the manufacturer has nothing to say about that.
There's like little body kits, and things like that. And, you can get you can switch your hood out and get a carbon fiber hood.
You can switch
and all
tons
that
of
stuff,
things on a car. So how is this? I think the name was really probably part of their case to hey, their name, that's copyright infringement. They probably built a case.
It's not though.
Maybe because of likeness.
That's why
I don't know.
That's why I say I think they should fight it because I kind of think like it's such a fine line between like
you're right. Maybe it was a scare tactic
between like changing the console or just putting like because like you're just lapping off a part like you said with the car. I mean, I don't know all the nuances with that. I don't know if those are no longer copyrightable. I don't know what the difference is compared to the PlateStation on like what you're mentioning, but in my mind it is. It's like a super fine line that I think they could win. They're not really doing anything. It's just the plates.
It's just plastic.
It's just the plastic. Yeah, like I don't see how they aren't allowed to do that. And so I want them to fight it because if they don't, let's say someone needs to fight it because if they don't, then Sony's going to gouge us, man. I think Sony's going to gouge us. I think they're going to sell plates and stuff and then just overcharge us for them.
Tax prices.
Like that's what I worry about.
I think they're probably an easy target. There's probably something that was a red flag, maybe the name, something, and then their legal team, boom, gave them a threat, and they got scared because they were probably a small company. Oh, let's fold.
I think that's what it is too. Like us, imagine we're just
it
doesn't matter.
We don't got the money for lawyers, so we can't play that game.
It doesn't matter if we're on the right or wrong. We're gonna just back off. Okay, whatever.
But if it's an eBay seller, if it's Amazon seller, those things are harder to target. You know what I mean?
So I was gonna mention. Do you think
just an easy target?
Do you think we'll find it all over eBay?
Oh yeah.
I'd say you Etsy that, dude.
Okay.
I'd say you Etsy that, man.
Etsy too.
Customizable faceplate. What you want on it? You know what I mean? Just like that. You know what I mean? Like you can go right back out there with that. So if I don't see like at least 10 different people posting up Etsy custom faceplates for the PS5, dude, then nobody's thinking about it because that's definitely something that if you've got like a 3D printer and you've got the schematics for the exterior of it, or you can get it, like by all means.
Once it launches, they're gonna be readily available. People are gonna scan those things and make carbon copies really easily and quickly.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing that you probably wouldn't have is if and I don't know if it is on there. You guys would probably have to let me know, but the triangle, square, X and O, like if that's that little type of print that's on the controller, if that's all over the exterior of the console.
Oh, like
I thought it was
the
just
texture
smooth.
pattern, like on the
texture
controller,
pattern, yeah.
right? Maybe that's
So
on the console.
if that's on the exterior, then you would probably want that same exterior.
I would care less.
Faceplate,
I would care less. Like this is what I would say. Like I've saw some of the dopest concepts arts for these faceplates. Like
dude.
Will, man,
You're
if
not
you
even
can
thinking about
find
that.
that Spider-Man Miles Morales one, you guys
The
see
black
that
one with the
webbing and like
protruding webbing?
yeah, protruding spider.
Was,
like, dude, Will, if you can find that, slap that picture up, dude. Like that's the potential
for sure
of this level of customization that we've never had in the history of consoles. There's also another dope one too, a God of War one that looked really sick.
It had like an axe in the front,
the axe in the front,
right?
and then the God of War symbol.
Yeah.
Like that was sick too. You know, like there's so much potential here. Like I hope this gets figured out, and I do believe in what you're saying, like the Etsy pathway and the eBay pathway. I hope. Because you can't stop people from doing that.
Nah.
You can't stop
those are just
custom
custom items.
From, like, making
especially when you're buying it from overseas. Like good luck. You know, they sell.
And it's not like mass production, right? Like it's like an arrangement, you know?
Yeah, even if you didn't buy them overseas, right? If you're selling a custom item piece or whatever that can go onto your PS5, that's how you're selling it. Like, they can't stop you from customizing your own item. All they can tell you, all they can tell you is that, hey, like this null and voids your warranty or something like that. Yeah. If you change this faceplate, if they didn't put a warranty sticker on there, like you can't do it. But if they were to come up with some way, some loophole or something like that, where they can let people know,
there's no sticker on the plates, man. We know where the stickers are.
If you
at.
take
They're
this
not
off,
on the plates, you know?
if you take this plate off, you've now voided your warranty.
Which goes back to the whole car point. Like these plates, I don't see how.
Yeah, they're just cosmetic.
Yeah, you just slap them on and
off.
Cosmetic, I don't see how it's an issue.
Scare tactic. It must have been a scare tactic. Like, hey,
because they want to control it, right?
Like,
they want to have an.
We want to be the first person to sell these.
Their accessories. Yeah. I can only see this being logical if they were to come out with the faceplates like within the week of release or something like that, right? Like,
I hope
if you're just gimping some people who had like a good idea to act on it immediately, because I mean this was something that me and you had thought about like a long time ago, the moment we saw it. So somebody else saw it and they had the capability to do customized plates, so they jumped on it. Like, you're not rewarding that ingenuity by like saying, hey, let me purchase you, you know what I mean, and make you part of PlateStation.
It only makes sense if
we're just trying to stop your business.
If they had a big vision, and they want to control it,
right?
You know, that's the only thing that makes sense to me here. So they hope, like, you should be like really within a week or so, right? Like, hey, we have cool things in the works, you know, for plates, because then otherwise, man, it's like, like F Sony, man, F you guys, dude. Like, you suck.
But it's just like, I mean, I already had the notion that I would want to take it apart, and then I would want to laser engrave it, and then I would want to spray paint it, so that it's like
that's
my
happening
custom
no
thing
matter
or whatever.
what, right?
Yeah. So that's I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? I've already got the video that shows me how to pull it apart.
Yeah, we could probably take them to an artist and say, "Here's some plates. Do this work on it for me." Right?
Yeah. I mean, I want to do that with
cool.
the PlayStation 5 controller. I saw that little black piece that's in the front that just easily pops off. I'm taking that off, spray paint it red, so I can get like a little flare on my controller or whatever.
Yeah, you know, like spray paint it like matte black and then slap the WLG logo on the side. You know, like just something you can do it. You can easily do that kind of stuff on your own.
Yeah.
So we do, no matter what, have that avenue.
Yeah. So I mean, man, if anything, you're gonna have mad videos on YouTube up of people, you know, personally customizing their consoles.
Totally. That's gonna be exciting. That's gonna be fun, like right?
Seeing all the to see like all the ideas and stuff.
Dude, some of those concept arts were so absolutely jaw-dropping.
Yeah, I think you definitely have to have like some machinery behind you though to be able to do that.
I
mean, at least a really good 3D printer to be able to make
that's $100-$200, you know, plate. You know, if you wanted to buy that from someone who's customizing that for you, unless you found some way to mass produce it, then you can drop the price of it down dramatically. But
right.
That's just like a special custom product, you know, like that's gonna be pricey, but it might be worth it.
Yeah. So launch day, it's coming up, right? The 10th and the 12th. Right around the corner. We can see it from here. You only have one console and one game to purchase. What are you getting? Start with you, Ray.
All right, like I know the automatic number one answer here on everyone's mind. Oh, that's simple. Demon Souls, right? But actually, for me, I'm being completely honest here. I personally would grab Godfall.
Really?
As my first game.
Okay.
Out the gate.
So your system is PS5.
Yeah. So I have. Yeah. If there was one game that I wanted, it would be Godfall, and that means I would have to get a PS5, right?
Or a PC.
Or PC.
We're talking consoles.
Yeah,
only,
PC
though.
I guess counts, right? In a
Strictly
sense.
consoles, though.
But Godfall, and I don't know what sold me was that Japanese expo when they were showing off those games and they showed Godfall.
Mm-hmm.
I was really just like, you guys might even remember from that podcast episode, I was just so jaw dropped by how good it looked. Like, it looked so pretty, and the ray tracing was just incredible looking. And then the fast-paced combat looked like just a lot of fun, like just a bunch of fun, like high action, high octane. And it just got me super excited. And then I know that Borderlands, who makes Borderlands again? Gearbox is like super great with loot. So once I saw how it looked and how pretty it looked, once I saw how the combat seemed very weighty and fluid and fun, like it reminded me of God of War, to be honest. And then I can trust Gearbox with loot. Like all that kind of came together to get me really excited to want to play that. And I must also make mention that I've played Demon Souls already. Right, like I've played it through a couple times in the past. Yes, this is not the same game. I get that. But because I actually kind of already tasted it and I've already played it to a much lesser degree, I might try another game first and then come back for sure to Demon Souls, during the holiday season or early next year or something like that. But just out the gate, it just seems like a lot of fun to play Godfall. It looked really great. And Demon Souls is not going to have ray tracing, like as beautiful as it looks. You're not going to have ray tracing, So there are some features that I really want to try immediately that I've never been able to experience my entire gaming life, like ray tracing. I've never had that before, So I really want to try those things. And so for all those reasons, I kind of thought, I think I would. That'd be the first game I took out was Godfall, a game I've never played before.
Dang.
And looked really, really fun. So yeah, I would honestly.
So have you pre-ordered Godfall?
No, I haven't, because I don't know if I'm gonna actually have a system to play.
You're gonna get one.
I will get one eventually.
But you would just rather have the
point,
system when you get the game.
Yeah, I feel like I have a hard time buying something that I can't use immediately or have no initial way to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no point.
I know I will get one at some point in time, but who knows? What if it's in March? And then, Godfall won't be like Godfall's exclusive for only 6 months, like the first half year of its existence,
right.
So yeah, I probably would wait until I had the system.
Got you.
But
interesting.
Mark, where you at?
So
man.
For me, it's very, very easy. There's one game that I'm getting the PlateStation 5 for, and I didn't play the first iteration of it. So it even makes it that much more of like I gotta play it. And that's Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, this game, I cannot wait to sink hours into this game. There's nothing bad I can say about it. It looks like a masterpiece, you know?
Absolutely.
And it doesn't have ray tracing.
Right.
But
It's got the 60.
I can look past that because this game looks like it's a tailored masterpiece here. So it has me sold.
Yeah.
I did potentially consider Spider-Man because I didn't play the previous Spider-Man, so that was a contender.
Another big one.
That was a contender for me. The pack that includes both the games because that's both the games is a good amount of content, right?
Right. Huge amount actually.
But for me, it was I'll play that game eventually.
Right.
But Demon Souls would be a game that I wanted to play on day one. When Spider-Man came out, it wasn't like I gotta get it. I gotta get the Spider-Man version. So it didn't have that effect previously, and it doesn't have that effect now. But the game does look incredible, and I know it will be potentially a masterpiece as well. But for me, Demon Souls, it was easy,
Yeah, like, dude, if I was in your shoes and I had never, ever even touched Demon Souls, like you had never even touched it, Demon Souls is 100% the winner here, right? Because it's all new. It's as wonderful as possible for you. Like for me, like as my mouth was just dropped about what I was looking at. But when I saw that spider fight, I remembered that fight.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remembered it too. Like that was something I remembered doing.
Yeah.
That fight.
Fair.
Yeah, it's not, fresh in my mind, but it's like, oh yeah, I remember that fight, like so I know as I would play through it, I would just start recognizing things more. And it takes a little bit of the shine off.
I
Just
see
a
that.
little
I
bit of the
definitely
luster
see that.
off. And I think with my brand new console, I want something brand spanking new. But yeah, for you, dude, it is so obviously and clear that it's not even close, right?
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, so I'm excited. If there's like a collector's edition of the game, I don't think they announced any collector's item, did they?
There's just
I
a
don't think
deluxe
they
edition.
have.
So
There's a
there's
deluxe?
a digital deluxe that will give
Some
you
DLC stuff, right?
a new like Reaper weapon, as
Okay.
well as like a couple of other items that weren't originally in the first.
But it's digital
iteration.
only.
Yeah, well, that was digital.
Okay, because I was gonna say, even if I can't get a PlayStation, if there's some sort of physical collector's edition,
Yeah,
I'll buy it
that's
just to
actually
keep it.
now that would be a
I'm like,
reason
I'll
to buy
keep
it.
it. I'll wait to have it,
Right.
But if it's only a digital deluxe kind of thing,
Yeah, even if it's just
Damn.
a statue of the knight or
Yeah,
something
it's
like
just
that,
cool to
it would be a
have,
pretty
you know?
dope one.
and that'll be like my souvenir of the launch of PlayStation, even though I won't have one on launch probably.
Right.
But I'll definitely, if there's a collector's item, I'll buy it. Otherwise, I'll wait to get it. Maybe even I can find it by the time I get a PlayStation.
Right.
Because these kind of games, people kind of like play them and then.
They're not multiplayer games. You don't just keep running
Correct.
through them.
So-
Yeah.
So
Well,
I was
Demon
able.
Souls is.
But what I mean is like
At its core, it's not like
like Call of
Godfall
Duty, right?
something
Or
like
like
Yeah.
these games are designed around multiplayer, so
Yeah.
you keep them in your system continually.
right.
Once you beat Demon Souls, you kind of move on.
Because
right?
I've bought all the Dark Souls. I bought used copies for pennies on the dollar.
Mhm.
Because people, they play them, they sit, and then they just want to get rid of them.
Mhm.
Yeah, unless
So-
you're like really into trying to platinum it, or you're trying
True.
to get to like 999.
But
You know what I
even
mean?
then, they like Sekiro. I platinumed that 100%. As wonderful as that is, I have no other really reason to play that ever again.
Yeah.
So like even at some point in time, it's just like I just got to get rid of this at some point in time.
So I
Or
s-
Call of Duty, you hold on to it.
I see people buying games like this on launch, and then a couple months down the line, when new games are launching, they'll trade them in. They'll try to
get
get
the
rid
money
of them.
towards the new games.
So, in the era of $70 games, if I could get them for $40 or $50, that's a big win for me.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna be watching on OfferUp, and
See
Craigslist
what
very
pops up.
closely. So even if I don't have the console, but I see the game
It's a
for
deal.
40, 50
Yeah.
bucks, I'm buying it.
Mm.
So I'm definitely, all the games, I'm gonna keep my eyes open.
Yeah.
See what's out there.
But day one or as soon as you can, launch day, you had the option PS5, Demon Souls.
Yep, easy for me.
Okay, all right.
What about you, Gali?
So this whole time, I have been hesitant on pre-ordering anything because I kind of wanted to. I wanted to treat my PS5 like, my woman. You know what I mean? I want her to be special. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want no game that I can play in the PS4. I want it strictly for you. You know what I mean? Like nobody else.
dude.
You're the only one for me. So obviously I want to get a PS5 launch day one. I'll say that first. So I was looking at different things, the different games. So you got, Miles Morales, you got Valhalla, you got Watch Dogs Legions, you got Sackboy.
Yeah,
you got,
Sackboy. I forgot about Sackboy.
you got Godfall, you got Demon Souls.
Don't forget Bugsnax.
Well, that's free 99, so we don't gotta
It
buy
is
that
PS5
one.
exclusive, but
Just
yeah, it's
kidding.
free.
But what am I missing? Anything else that was like an opening title? I mean, Cold War, but that
Yeah,
wasn't on my
Cold
list.
War.
That's an opening title. Yeah,
Of like an immediate buy.
that's a tough one too. That's cool.
What else? What else was? I feel like I'm missing one other one. I mean, NBA 2K21.
Yeah, all the third-party
yeah.
AAA games.
Yeah, but
I do feel like some of these games have fallen between the cracks. Like I think even Godfall kind of fell between
Devil
the
May
cracks
Cry.
because
yeah, for a while.
a lot of people are focused on Demon Souls and like Spider-Man that like
Yeah,
some of
they're
these games
focused
fall
more
to the
so
crack.
on
I
the
forgot about
exclusives.
Cold War, dude. Like that's another big one. Anyways,
Yeah. So so basically, I had made my decision on the first game that I was going to play or that I was going to buy about like a week ago when I was on Twitter and this guy that I follow by the name of Wario64.
Yeah, follow him too.
So he dropped a tweet. I wake up in the morning for work at about like 1:20.
Yeah.
So I saw this tweet at about maybe close to like 3 a.m. or something like that. And it shows that Walmart has Spider-Man Miles Morales, the PS5 version, for $29 out the door. So I'm like,
You're
what?
kidding me, dude.
I was like,
$29?
nah, this is like an error or something like that. And it was tweeted about maybe
29?
Yeah, it was tweeted like
off.
Yeah, it was tweeted about like an hour that I had seen it or whatever, an hour ago. So I clicked the link, I get on the website, the Walmart website, for sure enough, boom, $21.60.
Not $21.
Like, what? So
cheaper.
I click on it, I add it to cart, I put it in my cart, and then I'm like, nah, this is like, this has got to be like an error. It's like I have to, I follow Wario for like the random deals and stuff that he posts and whatever. But, I don't know if like maybe he got like a link or something like that. And this is like a bamboozlement. You know what I mean? I don't know
like
if
a
it's,
phishing site.
I don't know if this is legit. So I go back into Walmart, I click the Walmart name. It takes me on the website back to the regular page. Then I search Spider-Man Miles Morales for PS5. It comes up on the list, but it's $49.99, like $50, like it's been. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Why does it show up here on this, but it shows up $49 there? So I click that one, and it still shows $49. So I go back, I click on the link, it brings me to the one that's on the Walmart page that shows 21 something. So I go back to my cart. It's still in my cart. It still shows 21, but with taxes, it's like $5 and something cents. Shipping it's like $1 and something, and then shipping is like $5 and something. So that's how we get to 29.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? This is a damn good deal. I still see it. It's on the Walmart website. I'm just gonna purchase it, but I'll go ahead and purchase it through PayPal, just in case, for any random reason. I can dispute it on PayPal. So I purchased it. I'm like, all right, this is going to be what it is. Like, I can't pass up on this deal.
That's crazy.
Because it's normally $50 and I'm getting it for $30. If anything, I could just return it, and then I can just take it to a different, Walmart or something like that and get a full price game for the price that I paid $30 for this one, if I decide that I don't want to play it or something. So just yesterday, I got an email because I was on Twitter, and a bunch of people were stating that, hey, the orders get canceled. So I checked my email. I saw that my order was canceled.
Oh, damn.
But, however, so the email states that, hey, we're sorry about this, but there was an error on our website or whatever, and you obtained a product for a price that it was not supposed to be. So therefore, we have canceled the order. But to compensate for your loss, we're going to give you a $20 e-gift card.
You just got a free $20.
So I got a free $20.
Nice.
And technically, I could go back to Walmart, purchase it, and then I got it for $30.
Dang.
So technically, I can get Spider-Man Miles Morales PS5 version for $30. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I did retweet it. If you guys aren't following me on Twitter, by all means follow Wario64 because he's he posts good deals randomly. Yeah. But if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, godly_sovereign. If I do find something that's just like amazing, I will retweet it. Nice. But yeah, I hit the group chat. I think I hit them at like
I didn't see what
3 something in the morning. They might not have clicked the links or something. Yeah,
I didn't see it till I woke up, and by that time it was a regular price.
Yeah. I know, like I'm up way earlier than everybody else is in this group, but I just had to retweet. So I had to send it to you guys to just let you guys know, like, hey, if there's any chance you guys happen to be up or you happen to look at this, like, grab it.
$20.
Yeah. So. But with that being said, I would have made Spider-Man one of my day one purchases. I would have gotten that in the mail, and I would have been okay with that. But I still think that I want to get Demon Souls.
Nice.
I played Demon Souls when it had first came out. I was in the same boat as you. I think we saw it together, and we ended up purchasing it the same day or whatever. We played it. We enjoyed it. We loved it. And I really like that game, but I've also forgotten a lot about that game, considering how long ago it was. So I feel like with the fresh new revamp that they gave the game, the aesthetics and all that stuff, I do know that there will be some things that I remember in the combat fighting and stuff like that with the bosses. That oh yeah, I remember the piercer. I remember the sword, the shield knight, and all that stuff. But I feel like the gameplay mechanics are gonna be slightly different with the bosses. I feel like they've been tweaked just a
it's
tad.
gonna be a newer experience for
right.
sure.
So
yeah.
I don't feel like I would just be able to like all of a sudden rekindle every memory that I had of fighting that boss and then be able to wreck it. So with that being said, I really enjoyed everything that I saw with Demon Souls, and it just made me want to play it even more. I was just like Mark, like this is the game that I gotta get because. Like, yeah, I would love to wait for a deal, and I still have time to pre-order it somewhere where I could get, like, Best Buy. I think that if you pre-order a game, they'll give you $10 towards another game or something like that. So I could still do that. I wish I had seen that Watch Dogs Legions thing because I might have purchased that just to get an extra $20 just for. But I think I'm going to try to purchase something with that $20 e-gift card from Walmart.
Nice.
And and probably just get
Demon
Souls
with it.
for
You get Demon Souls for $40.
Yeah.
I mean, they're $50. You know.
Right. So
why not?
Definitely, Demon Souls is gonna be my day one buy. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
It's hard to beat Demon Souls, for sure. It's gonna be a masterpiece. I can't imagine why this game wouldn't get a 10 on the Metacritic score.
Yeah.
It could be game of the year easily. I hope one of us or some of us can play that game before the end of the year. So when we go back and we recount what we thought the best games of the year are, we could
throw that on the list if it is.
Be fair to Demon Souls, unless if it's worthy of it, So we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many games that I want to get. Like I want to get Valhalla. I want to get. I was thinking about Legions, but I wasn't really sold on it. Kind of hearing that it's a bit of a cheese to just get a construction worker and then
it is a little bit
of
a cheese, but it is fun to cheese.
yeah, it's always fun to cheese while you're cheesing.
It is fun. Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah, because it sounded legit. Controlling a little spider drone and then standing on top, like that sounded kind of cool.
Yeah, especially when you're playing permadeath mode. Like you can
lose. Permadeath is just losing those characters permanently.
And if you happen to lose all of your characters, the game literally ends.
Does it?
The game is over. And you got to start over.
For playing in that mode?
Nice.
You get like bonus EXP.
That's a good question. I don't think.
Or it's probably for a trophy, huh? You're trying to get that platinum.
No, I didn't notice. I just heard a lot of people were saying the best way to play this game is with permadeath mode because it adds that little extra edge and excitement to the game. I don't know if there's any bonuses. That'd be dope if there is.
Yeah, for sure. So
there's lots of fun games to play right now. November is the month for gaming. And December.
Yep. Yeah, and I did have my eyes on Godfall. I've been watching stuff. I'm still kind of iffy on Godfall. Like I'm not drawn in as like I need to play this right away. Like you have been. Just because I feel like it may get a tad stagnant with the armor pieces and the possible weapons. Because the one thing that about Borderlands was that there was just like a bajillion different weapons and stuff like that. And yeah, some of them looked the same, but they had different,
stats and things,
elements attached to them and whatnot.
Right.
So I just have to see, like, I've only seen like 2. I watched Eric's Gaming on YouTube, and he had an interview with 2 of the creators or whatever of Godfall. And they showcased like 2 of the weapons or whatever, and they look like they were pretty nice. So I just have to see like how much detail they're really putting into these weapons and these armor plates. And I guess like there are some armor plates that you can get very easily towards the end of the game once you finish like all of the story content and you're playing the end game. But I guess there are ways that you can get some of those armor pieces earlier and be able to play them through the campaigns. You just have to grind a lot.
I think part of me also that's influencing this decision for me to want to get Godfall is my time with Hades. Like just that action, fast-paced, action-oriented combat has been so much fun on Hades and like so solid and smooth and exciting that like I want that on like the bigger ray tracing 4K resolution scale. And I think like it's feeling like Godfall is going in that direction. And so that's why like I got super excited because how excited I was to play Hades. Hades was so exciting to me that thinking of playing a game that's similar to that, but like on a bigger 3D, 4K scale with the ray tracing was like, oh, I got to get this, And so that's also heavily influencing, my decision.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
Hades is that good. Hades is sick.
Right.
So
There was an article that I've seen. I think you guys have seen it or at least heard about it. But people are saying that there's no reason to buy a next gen console. And I wanted to ask you guys that question also and see, like, how do you guys feel about it? I know we want to get one. I don't think any of us have any pre-ordered consoles.
Sadly, no.
We don't have any like guaranteed you're getting it day one. On the 12th you're getting the PS5. So how do you feel, Ray, about what they're saying? Like, do you believe that you don't really need a next gen console, that you could wait if you needed to or whatever?
I can agree with the sentiment only in the sense of not being worried about getting a next gen console, right? Like, by worry, I mean we shouldn't be worrying, but you know what I mean. Like, we're trying very hard, right? Because we really want one to get one, but I think we can temper that struggle of wanting to have a PS5 with the notion that we're gonna be able to play a lot of these games on our current gen system, right? Like that. So that sentiment I agree with, but I don't agree with this notion that there really isn't a reason, right? Or there really is no point. There are a lot of points. There are lots of reasons,
Tons.
To get a next gen console. The load times in and of itself are going to be a huge quality of life improvement. It's going to make gaming so much more fun. Like, I don't know if exponential is the right word, but it's going to be close to like exponentially more fun to play video games when you have 4-second load times, right? Like, we're seeing these load time videos. They're absolutely jaw-dropping, and that's going to be a huge game changer. That controller, right, in and of itself is another reason to want to get the PS5. That's going to be an experience in and of itself. The reviews I've watched, people are having a hard time describing the feeling. They have to say, you have to just try this. You have to feel this to believe it. Like, it's so well done. The haptic feedback and these adaptive triggers, are such a unique experience. You can't get that anywhere else. You cannot get that experience on current gen. Like, there are lots of things here that are definitely worth the effort, whether it be waiting in line, which I know we can't do that anymore, or waiting on the computer, or calling people we know to try to find a way to get it. It's worth the effort. It isn't this just nothing. There's something awesome to be had here, and so I don't agree with it from that perspective. But yes, I do remind myself that, hey, it's gonna be fine. We have
it's not all bad.
Yeah,
if you
it's
don't
not
get it right
all
away.
bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, I do remind myself of that. I'm gonna have fun playing new games still either way. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, so I kind of disagree with the article and what these experts are saying. So for me, you can say this about anything in life,
Sure.
right? So, like, do you want to buy the latest and greatest graphics card? Well, you don't need to. You can go play on a 10-year-old graphics card. You can still play World of Warcraft on a
you
toaster.
can play at the lowest specs and still enjoy the game.
You can play Skyrim on a refrigerator. But is that the experience that you want? So if you want the latest experience, if you want the greatest experience,
you got to get the Xbox Series X fridge, right?
yes,
Xbox fridge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Xbox fridge. If you want the latest and greatest experience, then you need the latest generation. It's as easy as that. You can play the games. You can play games on your phone. There's so many different avenues to play games. But if you want the best experience for the current consoles, then there's a like you're saying, load times, ray tracing, 60 FPS, 4K. A lot of these things you can't do on your current system. Maybe you can't do them on your.
That are
on your
actually
current.
quality of life improvements.
These are
They're
actual
not just
features.
better looking.
These aren't buzzwords.
Yeah.
These are actual things that you can see and feel in the game. So if those things are important to you, get it. Ask yourself: do you have a 4K? Do you have a 4K television? Do you have these things so you can actually take advantage of the hardware? If the answer is yes, then get it. But if you still have a old 720 or 1080 old screen that doesn't have HDR, maybe you don't need it.
Are load times enough for you, right?
Yeah. Are load times enough for you? And to me, yes, because you're saving time. You're actually able to play the game more.
A seamless experience.
Over a year, that's going to add up to a noticeable amount of time that you got to actually play. Do you like to go to a amusement park and just wait in line? No one does. You know, we pay for fast passes. We pay for things to experience the content. So for me, this article is just
missing the mark.
Is missing the mark to me. We want the best experience for our time. Our time is valuable, so we want to experience things the best what we can. So to me, get a next gen console if you want to experience things, you know, in the best way you can.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, you know, shout out to Anthony G for shooting this to me and showing me the article or whatever, so I could see it. But I think it's ass. Like, I think the idea of it is just pandering to the sympathetic, you know, people, you know, the people who can't get it and they're like frustrated because they can't get it. And it's like, hey, don't worry, you can still play these. F all of that stuff, dude. Like, regardless if you didn't have a 4K television, if you're still playing on a tube TV, like, the load times alone, the speed of the optimized games is the reason to get it.
And just the way you can move through the menus back and forth between all that's gonna be fast.
Like, all I was doing, you know, while playing Moonlighter is just thinking, like, oh, if I play this on a Series X, these load times would be 1,000 times quicker. Like, I would not be waiting to show up in this dungeon. I would be in the dungeon already and immediately playing. You know what I mean? Like, even if I don't get upgraded graphics for every single freaking game, I mean, it'd be nice if I got them and then I eventually get them. Something like Moonlighter, I don't expect that to be given any updated graphics or whatever. You know, it's an 8-bit game. But, you know, for any of the other ones.
But the frame rates and the clarity will all be better.
Frame rates, yeah, all that stuff. But it's just the load times, man. Like, there's so many games that it's just a buzzkill when you have to wait for the load times. You know, to see something like The Witcher, where the dude just fast travels to a different city within like the blink of an eye. Like, the camera literally like inversed and like tweaked out a little bit because it had done a damn transfer so quick to the next area, and it wasn't even optimized. Like, that's nuts. You know what I mean? Like, The Witcher 3 hadn't even been touched to be optimized for it, and it was still lickety split quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, those type of things are some of, you know, just, you know, a minuscule amount, but it's just one of the things that we were looking forward to with next gen.
Dude, and like the quick resume. Like, imagine if, like, you know, you're playing Moonlighters and I hop on and say, hey, let's play some Destiny 2. You're instantly there. Like,
yeah,
okay, I'm here.
The pastime games or something like that.
That's crazy.
And it's just still playing in the background. I don't have to load it up again. I don't have to wait for the splash screens or anything. I just go right back into it once we get off of Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Whatever. But besides that, you know, in the article that I read, it showed that it was stating that there was only one console exclusive game, and that was Demon Souls for the PS5. And
did they forget
Sackboy?
Did they forget Sackboy?
I think they meant like maybe like the
worth
really
buying?
like, yeah, I guess like the hyped up ones or whatever. I don't know. But
Miles
besides
Morales?
that, the fact that, you know,
I mean, Miles Morales is on PS4, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, besides that fact, right, I still feel like Godfall isn't a reason enough
You
to get a PS5.
cannot play Godfall
Like,
unless you have a
you have
PS5.
to-
You literally cannot play it.
well, you can play it on PC.
Oh, on PC.
Yeah, it comes out the
right,
same
PC.
day or whatever.
Right, but if you don't, no, that's not
right, but as far as
reasonable, right?
yeah, not everybody's got
No one
like a
has a
high-powered
PC,
PC that can play this game,
Right.
at least to
So if
what
you
it
wanna
would
play
produce it.
You
So
have to get on the PS5. Yeah.
yeah, so if you want it to look good, you know what I mean, you would want to get it on the PS5, unless you just have a really powerful console computer, you know. But you don't get that game on Xbox Series X.
Right.
I mean, when I look at the games that are on the Xbox Series X, I don't see anything, or I haven't seen anything that tells me, hey, day one, I need to buy this shiz dizzle for this. Like, if I was to get the Xbox Series X, I would literally be getting it so that I could have those faster load times for games that I've already been enjoying playing on the Xbox, and I want to play them on this without any delays. You know what I mean? I want the super fast load times for Destiny 2. I guess that would be one because, you know, the expansion bundle is coming out.
Yeah, that's what I consider their
but it's on
exclusive.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
You know, it's on PlayStation 2 though.
Right.
You just got to buy it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So that's why I consider kind of like Xbox's game.
Right, but yeah, so, you know, like me wanting to play the little whatever games, like Moonlighter or, something else that I might come across, maybe playing Ori or something like that, that I haven't played, and I just want the lickety split loading. But for the most part, it would be like Destiny 2 would really take advantage of that. The game would be optimized for it. The new expansion comes out for the Game Pass, and then you get all of its greatness in quick times.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's it. So, being able to play Demon Souls, that's strictly on the PS5. And then being able to play Godfall, on that PS5, earlier than,
Sackboy's a legitimate game. That's a legitimate AAA game.
Sackboy
I don't know why
fun.
they would hold that off. That's literally the only way you can play that is on a PS5.
Right, and Bugsnax, right?
Yeah, Bugsnax. The only way you can actually play that is on a PS5, right?
Yeah,
these are literally exclusives. But Big Planet is a AAA title. Like, this is made. Yeah. This studio's been working on this since the last Little Big Planet game. This has been years.
Yeah. Little Big Planet, or at least that game developer studio, whatever, under Sony. Literally, their games,
it's like Media Molecule or
their
something
games
like that, right?
hold their value, like for the longest time. Like, you'll still go into a Target or whatever and see like Little Big Planet 3 still for like $30,
right? When
it should be like in a $5 bin or something like that, because it was a launch title game,
and it's always going to hold its value because of how much fun it is to play with other people at your house.
It's a good couch co-op. Yeah, so it's like one of the best couch co-ops that you can get.
Like, it legitimately looks fun, dude. Like, it's not something to laugh at. Like, I bet you it gets great reviews. Like, I bet you it does.
It looks fantastic.
It does. Really, it looks fantastic. That's really unfair. The article withholds that, and also the article is very nearsighted. It's only looking at games. Like, there's so much more to look at here other than games, right? Like, clearly.
Just the load times is literally like,
dude,
the reason you would want
mentioned
to get
Moonlighter going into the dungeon like that makes the game more fun.
Yeah.
Right? Than what it would have been otherwise. The game itself is now actually a better game because of the console you're playing.
Yeah. Right. I mean, that was one of the things that they explained when they were showcasing Godfall, right? Is that, like, you die, you just hit the button and you get right back into it, and you're right back into the action. Like, there's no delay, there's no
that's crazy
loading splash screen with like little tool tips to teach you, to tell you stuff, to like go on. You just get right back into it.
And that's what you want too, especially with Demon Souls.
Souls, man, you're going to die a lot.
You're going to be dying a lot,
and you're like, I gotta get back in there, like, you're gonna be able to get back in there so much more faster and quicker,
Yeah. So I mean, I definitely, shouts out to the people that that wrote the article. I don't remember the name or whatever, but I just feel like if their purpose was just to make people who cannot pre-order the system feel better about it, then cool, kudos. You attempted it and whatnot. But bottom line is like, I'm gonna be doing whatever I can to be trying to get those next gen consoles as soon as possible, so that I can enjoy all of its greatness early, or as as early as possible. But yeah, I'm not gonna be trying to hurt myself because I didn't, I couldn't get it, day one. I'm not going to be paying no reseller prices, just to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it for its retail price.
Right.
But I'm going to do what I can to get it for that retail price.
Yeah, this is a silver lining. At best, this article could be labeled a silver lining if you don't happen to get one. Like, it's not some
then fear not. You can still play the new games.
Yeah, it's not some matter of fact like, hey, this is don't even do it.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to wrap it up, right? Out of looking at everything, I kind of feel like I already know where this is going, but who do we think won the next gen battle? As of looking at things right now, I guess it could change like later on, but I feel like it only matters out the gate. So everything after that is irrelevant.
Let's shift the perspective to who won the launch, maybe. You want to,
and then who wins the war at the end? 5-6 years from now.
Yeah, I feel like the war is ongoing.
You think so?
But the launch is just this little battle, and I think there's a clear winner at who won the launch battle. But the war with the Bethesda, there's a lot of things in the works, and then Sony always has a lot of things up their sleeve too. So I'm gonna answer in the context of
is Bethesda enough to win a war though?
There's more than that.
It's a battle.
There's more than that.
Yeah.
There's a lot more.
Dude,
on there,
honestly, right? Like, it was like this. Anyways, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, so for me, who won the launch battle? Anthony G, you're not going to be happy with this. You're not going to be happy. Just kidding. The PlayStation clearly won the battle. They got this controller that's like, I think the controller's a sleeper because
I agree.
in other generations, you got to feel it ahead of time. So people are like, oh, this is, they would have raved on, but people are just starting to talk about it now.
Funny, yeah.
Before, when we talked about this console war, we were talking from the games, more on the games perspective, and then more on the technical aspects. But the controller, the so obvious, that's where you interface with the most. And the PlayStation, from what I've read, their controller is on a whole nother level, and that matters a lot. That's the physical interface that you have. So, to me, it's something I overlooked personally. And Demon Souls is a console seller for me. So with those two things, the PlayStation is a clear winner. Now, that's not to say that I don't want an Xbox, because I do. For Game Pass. To me, the Game Pass is always a good value. And for me, I'm on the thrifty side. So I always like, what's the best bang for my buck? Right. So having an Xbox is a great value. But if you want the best experience and potentially the best games, the PlayStation will not disappoint. It will not. And you always have the exclusives because they proved that in the past. So their resume is good with exclusives, and we get this crazy controller, and the SSD is on a whole nother level. Yeah. We're talking about load time. So they got good cooling. The system is looking
it's quiet.
Like the system. I'm excited for it. More excited than I was before. Yeah. So to me, that won the launch battle. So what do you guys think?
Okay, so I will definitely admit this 100%. If you had asked me this question two weeks ago when we got the announcement that Microsoft had purchased Bethesda, I was definitely at that moment in time feeling that the Xbox was the better purchase at this moment in time. I was.
Even if they didn't have anything out of the gate to offer.
Even if they didn't have anything out of the gate, because all these Bethesda games, for instance, Doom Eternal, like I never played that before. That was going to be free. The moment I bought my Xbox Series X, I get to play that for free. And all the other Bethesda games, right? Yeah. And they were slowly releasing more over time. The ones that are coming out like Scorn on the Xbox are all free. Yep. Like there isn't any additional thing you need to buy.
Scorn looked creepy, man.
It did look creepy, but that's going to be free, and it's an exclusive, and it's they put as much work into that as any of the other studios, right? Like it still looked like a lot of detail and work went into that game. Like every gun was unique looking.
Hopefully more work than
Halo
they put
Infinite,
into Halo.
Right? I know, right? So at first I was like, gosh, I don't know if I can see myself right now buying a PlayStation when I get so much value out of that Game Pass. And then they purchased Bethesda, and EA Play, right, was going to be added to the Game Pass. I was like, gosh, I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of gaming on my Xbox. I feel like that's what I'll be playing. In my mind, if I buy both, right, like I'm going to be spending so much time on my Xbox that I got to find a way to get this. And so honestly, like that was the direction I really was feeling like in my heart, that the Xbox was going to be the better purchase, because Sony was staying so antiquated. Like you want a game, you got to pay $70. Sorry, we're not giving you anything for free. We're not giving you any additional bonuses. There's no service that you can buy. You got to do it all the old school way. And I was feeling like Sony was not coming along, with this ride. And then a few things happened. The first thing that happened was the UI event, which I thought was way better than the Xbox's UI, because it's the exact same UI as Xbox currently has.
Yeah, they
didn't change really anything. And so there's nothing exciting there, interesting there that I would want to try. Where the PlayStation UI looked really awesome, like really, really great. Then they announced, right, Bug Snacks and the PlayStation Plus exclusives and the collection. How they're all being optimized and upgraded, and like Days Gone, and there were some other games that were adding to the collection that was also selling me. And then the last thing was the controller. Like when we did that controller unboxing, and now that the reviews are coming out for the controller is reviewing better than the console itself, both Xbox and PlayStation 5. The controller, right? And so and I knew it was going to be something special from the start. We all did when we saw that original opening presentation when they did the showcase originally. I'm like, oh my gosh, this controller just feels like something special. Those things combined pushed me back into the Sony camp to where now on launch day, now here we are. Everyone's made their case. Microsoft made their case with Game Pass and Bethesda and EA Play. Sony's made their case with their next generation controller, UI, and free games to play on day one. We got All-Stars now, Destruction All-Stars. Like, that was the game. They added Destruction All-Stars to PlateStation Plus. That's what I was missing. Like, all those turned me back to Sony, and now Sony, for me, I think, has won the launch war. But it was like this, man, for me. Honestly, it was like this. It was not clear-cut.
Interesting. So I'm going to have to disagree with both of you guys on that. The PlayStation 5 is not what I want.
The Atari? The VCS?
Yeah. The VCS?
Oh, man.
The sleeper is the Atari VCS, man. Like, I could give a damn about the Xbox Series X or the PS5, man. Like, $389 is where it's at for the Atari VCS combo.
The 360 killer?
Dude, it's the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 Shatter combo. Like,
Oh my god.
it defecates over both of them.
32 gigabyte solid state drive. What can you do?
Yeah, I mean,
In the wake of
I didn't
that.
even know it was a solid state. So you just like one-upped me there. Like, that's amazing. 32 gigs
32
of solid
gigs.
state is like phantasmal.
Can you wrap your mind around 0.46 teraflops, dude?
I think it's
Can
gonna
you
take.
wrap your mind?
I think it's gonna take like a solid 3 minutes for the newer games to load, and I think that's fantastic. Like, that's super quick. It's lightning speed. Like, it's next gen for sure. But no, in all seriousness, I obviously think that the PS5, won from the beginning. The moment the PS5 was announced, I was on it. Like, my attitude never wavered from it. The only thing that the Xbox was able to do was to get me interested enough to want to buy their system. From the very beginning, the PS5 was always going to be my purchase. Like, that was a guarantee. I have such a large library of PS4 games, and the fact that those would all mostly be able to be played on the PS5 still, if I wanted to go back onto them, is whatever. But like, I've been in the PS5, the PlayStation family for the longest. So I would want to continue that lineage by getting the PS5. And I would just have to say that, with the addition of the Game Pass, the fact that you'd have the EA Play, the fact that, all of the newer games for the Xbox would just be available on the Game Pass, and this, console, well, the X would give you like, that sort of next gen feel, I guess, as much as you can get it. It just made me want to buy that one as well. But, the one that I'm mainly, searching for, the one that I'm going balls out for is the PS5. So I'm trying to figure out whatever way I can secure that, before the weekend is over next week. But the PlayStation 5 is for me. Like, I mean, you can, I think they put, I want to say they put Marvel's Avengers, the new game, on a speed test with the Xbox One, or no, the PS4 Pro compared to the Series X and then the PlayStation 5, and the Series X had slaughtered it in speed, but that was an unoptimized game for either of the two systems.
Right. You can't look at previous gen games. They have not been optimized for the
right.
systems.
So
yeah.
we're looking at that.
Exclusive games.
Yeah, looking at that, it just seemed like the Series X just has that computational power to be able to load something a tad faster than the PS5. But once something is optimized for it, that'll be the definite like test to see things. But I just know that going next gen, my things are gonna load a lot quicker. You know what I mean? Once you get those optimized games. And I hope that the majority of the games get optimized fairly quickly. Like, people know what time it is.
Right.
If you want your game to get played again, optimize it.
You got to.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, it should be no reason.
We're not trying to sit on the Red Dead Redemption load screen forever, right? That should be gone.
Man, but I mean, like just thinking about it, I would probably try to jump into some of those older games that I really enjoyed playing.
Me too, dude.
Like, it's like, oh damn, like GTA 5 is still around on these next gen systems, but like I might just hop in and just to see what's good with it. You know,
I never quite finished GTA 5. I never got all the way to the end of it.
Oh no,
you know, so I still have some heist to do. But yeah, the load times are a turnoff, man. You sit there for minutes on end just trying to get into the game.
Load times are real.
And so if that becomes like this, you know, I'm gonna play it again.
Yeah, I might go back and do some more online.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and just
too.
play that because I know it was like the load times were just atrocious. You
Terrible.
know what I mean, it's like when you get into it, you just want to stay in it for a while. Cause, you know what I mean, it's gonna take almost like 5 minutes to get back into it. You know, to get into a server or whatever. But yeah, man, it's just I just feel like it's an open and shut case. Like as far as launch is concerned, you know, the PlateStation 5 has it. In order for the Xbox Series X, even the S for some godforsaken reason, if you get it, but just like the X alone, if it was to excel, they would have to produce a lot of games that are fully capable of using the X's stats, not the S, not being gimped by it. I mean, even if you make me 2 different versions and I gotta wait even longer for the game, if you make one that is Hytale optimized for the Series X, then maybe I'd say that just because of the sheer volume of being able to get so many games for free that maybe they would be able to pull ahead. Right. But I just feel like the quality of the games that PlateStation provides and the amount that they provide you a year of these quality games should keep it very far in the lead.
Yeah, for sure. Like I agree, you know, like it's not just a open and shut case anymore like it was with the PS4 and Xbox One. Like it was an open and shut case, you know, like it was embarrassing.
Some Xbox, you know, players, they would say that the Xbox, you know, won that war. Like I feel like people are like,
talking about the launch?
I'm talking consoles. About as we look back on the next gen, the last generation we just finished, PS4 and Xbox One. I think it was like an open and shut case, you know, like what system won. And it's because of the games, right? But as we look into, I know an Xbox would say, no, we won, right? Our system's faster, more powerful. But if you have nothing to play on it,
then what's
the point, right? And then there was no point in having an Xbox as well because you could play everything that they had on the PC, which we were playing the Xbox games on our PC, you know, with Game Pass. Right. So, and even if you don't have Game Pass, you can literally buy the game on your PC. So when I say one, I mean, what's the reason to buy it, right? And so there really was no reason at all to buy an Xbox One. It's getting a little bit more blurred now, you know, with this new generation. And like you said, they convinced you to even want to buy one. And I think the cost, you know, the Xbox One was more money than the PS4 when they first launched, you know, like it was a terrible generation for them. Like this time around, they're giving you more for the same price as far as like hardware. You know, like there are reasons now. There are legitimate reasons to buy an Xbox.
They put up a decent fight this year.
Yeah, they put up a decent fight. And like you said, if they keep going, if these studios, if they keep adding their studios, and all of a sudden it just becomes overwhelmingly better, like Fable's a 10, right? And they have like these actual, I don't think there is even a 10 out of 10 game exclusively on, I don't think Microsoft has ever had a studio like produce a masterpiece. Like they've produced many good games, but have they ever produced? Yeah, correct.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if there is a 10 for 10 that's been like across the board,
exclusively
like
on
Metacritic,
Xbox,
whatever. You know what I mean? Not just like your own personal opinion, because we get that. You might really love a game.
Generally rated.
Yeah, I mean,
I think honestly, the Forzas and the Master Chief Collection is the high as it goes.
Thing, right?
Nah, Fable is as high as it goes.
I'm not saying those are perfect 10s, but I'm saying that the Master Chief Collection was amazing. You get all of the Halos, and then the Forza series always did really well.
The Forzas are always received really well, but I don't know if they've ever made a masterpiece. Like, have they made The Last of Us? I'm talking about the original. Have they made a game that's a 10? Have they made something? God of War?
Fable 3.
You know, I don't think that was a 10. I don't think they got a 10.
It was a 10. For you to say any otherwise, it's just BS.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like,
yeah. As far as this generation, there's a game I can't think of any this current gen games that were perfect 10s. I don't
came out of Microsoft Studios.
I want to say they had none.
I could play my 360 version of Fable and it plays spectacular on the Xbox One. Just want to let you know.
I'm just saying this gen that came out.
No, he's
Couple
joking.
gens
It's
man.
basically
He's
like
pulling
this
our
gen
chain,
though.
dude. But it's perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if it comes out in the 70s, we could compare
you get it
VCS
perfect.
games, Atari
If
games.
it has Fable on it, you can compare it to anything.
Like it's perfect,
and it's good.
It's just objectively
Masterpiece.
perfect, right? Fable's
Yeah.
objectively perfection.
It's almost as good as like Jumanji, but it's not though. You know what I mean? Like Fable shits all
But
over
like that's a
it.
major problem. Like Xbox has a lot of good games,
Fantastic
but no great games. That's
Right.
a problem.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
lot of
the
good
issue.
games to play. You have a lot of good fun games to play on your Xbox, but you're not gonna have. I'm telling
They're
you.
all like like
God
when-
of War is a masterpiece. Last of Us is a masterpiece.
I
These
mean,
games are
when
masterpieces.
we looked at the Game Pass,
Persona, that's the one I want to
Persona's
play.
a masterpiece.
yeah, when we had looked at the Game Pass showcase and all that stuff and seeing everything on there, like, oh, I would play that. I'd play that. I'd play that.
Yeah.
But there was nothing like, oh, I've got to play that. Like, this
Yeah.
needs to be on my console like ASAP.
Yeah.
It was
Nothing
all
gave me
just like, oh,
chills,
I'd play that.
Demon Souls gave me chills. Like that's gonna be a 10 probably. I would not be surprised if Demon Souls is a 10. Would not be surprised.
Yeah.
And those games only ever come out of Sony studios. For some reason, those games only seem to ever come out from Sony studios.
Mm-hmm.
So Microsoft has that hill to climb that I don't know if they ever will. But if they do,
Yeah.
right?
If they do.
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt, like for this generation. If they do, then we will be happy. I think that's the thing. We don't want to be fanboys, right? Where we're like, we lose all objectivity, like Gali is with Fable, right? He loses all objectivity.
I am
It's a
not.
perfection.
It's just a proven
Yeah.
fact that Fable is
It's
better
just
than
a
every game that's ever come out ever.
I'm not. Like it's just an objective fact, right? Yeah, like I mean, we can look at these consoles and say, wow, there's lots of great things on Xbox, and we can admit that, even though we've all been Sony, fanboys from PlayStation. We've gone to every experience.
I'd say besides him.
Well,
Yeah.
more recently,
Yeah.
the last generation or so. Me and you, every experience first in line. We do everything PlayStation. Like our gaming lives are PlayStation. But Microsoft really has done a great job, and I try to detach myself from my trophies and all the time I've put in on the Sony ecosystem, right? And just say, if I'm looking at these systems, what am I getting from each one? And I do think Sony wins the launch war, but man, Microsoft put up a fight. I think for me,
Yeah.
put up a fight.
I mean, it's been enough. It's been enough of a fight for me to go ahead and get back into playing Xbox.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like my last Xbox console was the 360. So I missed the One, I missed the One X, the One S. I missed all those. And so I was able to borrow one from my my in-laws just to be able to play.
Right.
The
You've been enjoying
off
it.
the One, and I've been playing it. You know what I mean? And for other reasons, like this is in my office, and the PlayStation has been moved to the living room, so it's more accessible. But I just feel like I have the ease of just being able to try like a bunch of different games that I might not have like tried before. Like I wouldn't have purchased Moonlighter
Never.
just off of like GP,
Yeah.
but it made me want to try it even more so because you said that it was a good game and it was available on the Game Pass, so it's like, okay, if I wasn't able to have caught like the $5 sale or something like that, I
Right.
might not have played it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Kind of like with Hades, like I might not get to play that one until it's like for the Lolo or something like that. I come across it just to try it out. But just being able to have that opportunity to just download it real quick and then just check it out, and I'm like, oh, this is a great game. Like this is a fun game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, just like with Hollow Knight, like you guys might think it's like it's
an
whatever
indie,
game or
right?
whatever,
It's wonderful.
but like just if you got a PlayStation, just go ahead and download it and just check it out. Just play it for like, an hour or so.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, then you just put in the comments, hey, this shit sucked. Why'd you even recommend this trash? And we'll be like, all right, okay, it is what it is. But if you liked it, then just be like, yeah, man, you guys recommended, that shit was good. It was good. Like,
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of those games like that, those little 8-bit joints
Yeah.
that have real fun. Dead Cells was another one of them
That was a
for
great
me.
game.
Like Dead
So
Cells
good.
was fun. It was tough. It's a tough
That's
game,
an awesome
but it was
game,
it was a
dude. I
fun
love that
little
game.
like
Such
game.
a
Man.
good game.
It's definitely a good
Yeah.
one.
That's the standard, man.
Yeah. But
And Online is the standard too.
yeah.
Mhm.
But like we're all saying though, for the Microsoft, I would say Microsoft, their focus is a little less on the console, but as all their services.
Right.
Mhm.
They got xCloud, they
Yeah.
got the Game Pass. They have all these things that allow you to play games elsewhere. And there's, Phil Spencer's open to bringing Game Pass to other platforms. So I feel like their approach is a little more broad. And As a result, we didn't get this amazing controller.
Right.
But there's a lot in the works. So, I can confidently say they lost the launch battle, but they're in it. They're
Right.
invested for potentially, hey, when this generation ends, we want to go into the next gen. Everyone's getting our console. And I think that it's, it's quite clear. And Phil Spencer, I feel like he's a good, face for Microsoft. And he's out there, he's trying to be like a salesman and talk to as many people as, he's trying to be a face. He's trying to bring Microsoft back, to like the 360 days, because they know they messed up. When they launched Xbox One, you had to buy this Kinect, which is bye-bye.
They scrapped the Kinect, man.
And they made you buy it. So I feel like they shifted their approach. They're like, all right, let's do a full 360 here. You know what I mean? And I feel like they're on the path to they're on the path
of salvaging
their reputation.
Yeah.
Sony has been consistent building their numbers. We deliver what we've been delivering. Microsoft, they messed up on the launch. They lost their market shares, or they lost the majority on who's on the console, and they're in like the fight or flight mode right now. So they're the underdog.
Yeah.
And as a result, we're seeing all these cool things. They're innovating. They potentially be the Netflix of the gaming. So I feel like although they lost, I'm happy they lost because they're changing gaming. You know what I mean?
Right. It made them revamp. I got a quick question for you guys though. How do you guys feel about like the number of accessories? Like, do you guys care about accessories? Because the PlayStation 5 has like mad accessories, right? They've got the media remote, they have the headset, the Pulse 3D, they have the HD camera. You know what I mean? So like, do you guys care about that? Because the Xbox Series X has like nothing. The only thing that they're selling besides the console itself is the controllers.
Right.
Like, how do you guys care
I
about that?
never buy them.
You never buy the accessories?
I've never bought accessories before. I've never
The
bought
charging
the media
station
remote.
for the
I have bought a
controllers?
charging station,
Okay.
but that's irrelevant for the Xbox, right? Because it has double batteries, right?
Yeah. I mean, there are like the little charging.
Those are like
battery
aftermarket
packs
things,
you
right?
get.
You can buy, yeah.
Right.
I have bought a charging station for my Xbox. I mean, for my PlayStation. And I got a PlayStation Eye for like a holiday gift, but I've never gone out and personally like purchased one of these things. However, I do think they have a place. Not so much. I wish the headsets were. I just wish the consoles had Bluetooth capability, so you can buy whatever headset you want.
So does the Xbox have Bluetooth
I
capability?
don't know if it does. Honestly,
Because I think there
is
is a wireless headset, but I don't know if it's like wired to if it's wireless to the controller or to the actual system.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a big one for me. But I think it's cool having an eye, a camera. These types of accessories are cool and useful, especially if you're going to be streaming. It's cool they have an option for you there. So I think some of these accessories are cool. I think Microsoft's more open source. I think maybe you could just buy your headsets, buy an attachable camera, buy these things, and not have to buy like the Sony branded accessory. I think maybe that's why there's a disconnect between the two.
I think there's a way that you can connect other headphones to the PlayStation.
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
but
the
maybe they're all
dongle.
wired or something like that.
Yeah, for me personally, it doesn't matter. Okay, sorry, let me shift it. For the generic accessories, I could care less. That means that holds no weight. I want exclusive accessories like the PlayStation VR you have. Now that is an accessory that is that we can talk about.
Right.
All these other headsets and things like that. The media remote is cool. I do always buy those.
Yeah, okay.
But you can buy third-party ones all day.
Yeah.
But so exclusive accessories matters to me.
So
but
are you getting any accessories along with the console when you buy it?
Probably not, because there's nothing exclusive accessory. I'll buy the controller. I'll buy the media remote. I always buy that.
The charger?
The chargers I won't buy.
Okay.
I generally don't buy those.
And what about the headset? No?
I have a bunch of wired headsets, so I'm gonna see if any of those are compatible. But
Okay.
I generally don't buy. I bought the before for the PlayStation 4. I bought the silver or gold headset.
Yeah.
And that was really nice. I had that 7.1 virtual surround. So that was a really nice experience. But generally those don't get me that excited.
Okay.
So I don't put as much weight into the accessories as others might. So what about you?
I was looking. I was talking with my father-in-law yesterday. Because he was showing me that he had managed to pre-order the Xbox Series X.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Because he's an Xbox head.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And then shouts out to him. And I was basically like looking at his bundle because he got a Valhalla bundle, so he's gonna get Valhalla, like a carbon controller or whatever. And I was literally looking, and I was like, looking through the list of all the GameStop stuff, and I was like, oh, this red controller's dope. And it looked like the red controller was for the Xbox One X. And he was like, yeah, but you can't really, I don't think you can use it for the Series X. And I was like, nah, like there's literally no difference. Like, okay, you see this red controller? You see this empty blank space right here in the center? Like, all right, now look at this blue shock controller. Yeah. You see that button right there? That's literally the only thing they added to the controller. You know what I mean? So
and the D-pad they changed.
Yeah, so I like that there's, for the Xbox Series X, I like that you can still go back into their old previous inventory and then still get like one of those limited edition controllers, and you can use that on your generically looking, Xbox Series X.
Can you use PS4 controllers on the PS5?
Nope.
No. Well, you can.
Can you use the PS4 on the PS5? I know you can't use the PS5 on the PS4.
No. They said the 4 controller is by.
Wow.
You cannot use it on the 5.
But you can use the PS5 controller on the PS3. If you were even gonna play the PS3, I don't know why people are checking
they locked it out for some reason. There's some firmware there that they're.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they might change that, but I could see it being like worthwhile. Playing your PS4, with the PS5 controller, but not getting like any of the extra, the haptic feedback. Or
I don't know why you wouldn't want. You just sell more controllers that way.
Yeah,
whatever.
But yeah, so I definitely like that. I thought it was interesting that there's absolutely no accessories for the Xbox Series X, not even like a charger or anything like that. Some type of OEM battery pack that they're selling.
Because you just use the old stuff, right?
Yeah. But you're just using the old stuff. But I do think that I want to get an extra controller just to have a second one on standby, because I kind of burn out my controllers until like the battery is done, and then I'll just grab the other one and put the other one on the charger and just switch it like that. But I was thinking about getting the headset. Like I have this like generic like Amazon headset that's like a fatty. That's it's super chunky, and I bought it for like the Lolo, the one you guys are clowning me about. So but it's like it's literally made more so for a PC than it is a PlayStation, because it's got a USB port for the RGB lights on it and all that stuff. So I think I might want to get a PlayStation excuse me, a PS5 Pulse 3D headset, just cause maybe get the charging station for the 2. Or at least I think I saw like a USB Type C that was like doubled. So you could charge up two cables or something like that. But I kind of like the convenience of just sitting it on the charging stack. But yeah, I don't have any use for the media. But I like that there's just extra options that you could purchase that would go along with your set. It may not be needed, but for people who want the little upgrade, maybe the HD camera will be much of an upgrade. I know it, like I said, I think on last week's podcast, that it does not work for the PSVR currently. And I may hold off on the camera just because if the PSVR 2 does come out within like a year or so, they might have like the bundle set that has all of that stuff on it, and it might just be that's the way it's sold, is the camera along with the controllers and the helmet. But so I think I'm gonna at least try to get like 2 or 3 accessories. At least another controller, the charging station, and the headset, just because I did watch like a couple of reviewers that actually went into depth and showed you what the mic sounded like, and it sounded like it was picking up well. It's new enough that if like for some reason the foam starts to tear apart like the majority of these headsets do after the grease from your hair and all that stuff, it deteriorates it slowly, I can just low-key buy a new one from Walmart, swatch it out in the pack, put it back in there, man. You know what I mean? It's shoddy craftsmanship, and they're gonna pay for it. So I bought the first one. I shouldn't have to buy 3, 4 versions of them because the foam pieces started to deteriorate. I'm gonna go ahead and re-up and get my new one. It's gonna be just like how it was, and I didn't pay another dime for it. But that's just me, you know what I mean? Hopefully Walmart ain't seeing this, But anyways, I think that's all we've got for you guys this week. Thank you for listening. Thank you to our YouTube viewers for watching. Drop comments in there if there was something that we forgot to talk about that you would have liked to have heard. If not, we'll be covering that on some legit stay videos or whatnot. Look out for those. Should be one dropping or have already dropped. Until next week, hopefully we'll have consoles by then. Catch you later. Deuces.
Peace.
I love you.